going down. The battle cruisers and Vikings coming forward. Seeker missiles going. Oh, the Vikings! Oh my goodness, that was insane. I don't even know what to think about that.
Huge.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Joker, casting with Buddha, and we got some action for you tonight. Buddha, what do we got?
Tonight? What do we have tonight, Joker? I'm pretty sure we have Impulse versus MYI. Unfortunately, Inferno DTG could not make it tonight. So instead, we have an awesome replacement rematch of the best of 7 last night that actually went to the 7th game with a reverse all-kill.
Yeah, no, it was one of the craziest series I've ever seen in a long time. Ender for Team Impulse took 3 games off of My Intent, and then Impulse was reverse killed by Shinya, which you guys know Shinya. He's been a big contender in the last couple seasons of the ISTL. He's incredible, very unorthodox Protoss. So we're going to have some more good games tonight. The rosters are going to be a little bit different. Couple new guys, a couple new faces in these rosters tonight. For starters, Moosey and Grape. Neither of these players got to play last night, so we're showcasing their skills here pretty soon, Buddha.
Yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We're, of course, going to have some more awesome matches. And we're going to get to see some players that I actually haven't seen before play, right? Because casting them all last season and some of this season, we've really gotten to know a lot of these players really closely because both MYI and Impulse were in the previous season. But tonight, yeah, we've got an opening match between Grape and Moosey, and I haven't seen either of these guys play.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, not only did Moosey not play yesterday, this is actually going to be his Impulse debut. So this is going to be pretty good to see how he plays. Recent recruit from not too long ago. I think he came off one of our recruitment tournaments. So we're going to see how Moosey does today. And he is a Terran player going up against Grape, who's going to be a Protoss player. Some TVP action to start off the night. I'm pretty excited for it, though.
Yeah, me too. It looks like we are ready to get started here on, of course, our opening map, which is always Cloud Kingdom LE for
what does it stand for?
Cloud Kingdom LE, Ladder Edition.
Oh, Ladder Edition, gotcha.
Come on, bro.
You were like stuttering, you're like,
I was trying to think for... What are we casting again?
This is StarCraft.
For ISTL, of course, and this is going to be more of a show match. It's not going to affect the standings at all, unfortunately. The match last night did, but this is a vengeance match for Impulse, man. They really want to, come back for that and get revenge for that reverse all kill they had last night.
Oh, they're upset. They are upset. Getting reversed.
Mad.
That is tough. That is tough to take home. But we're going to be starting right off on Cloud Kingdom. At the top right, spawning as the red Protoss, we're going to have My Intense Grape.
And at the bottom left, we have the blue Terran player playing for Impulse Gaming. It's going to be Moosey. And is Moosey the correct way to say that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big Moose Dog. That's Moosey.
All right, man. I don't know. If I were going to spell Moosey, I think I would put an E in there.
I don't know.
That looks like Mosey, but that's not Mosey spelled correctly either.
We'll go with Moosey until he banters at us and gets pissed. We'll see though. But
I'm sure someone in the chat will correct us, right?
Yeah, they'll be like, it's freaking Mosey. But hey guys, another little announcement. We actually added 2 new casters to the ISTL staff roster yesterday. I put it out on Twitter. We're going to have Remark is going to cast for us. He is a renowned player for Team MXG. I think he got MVP the very first season, and MXG was not in on Season 2. And now he's back. He's already, he won a Game 7 for their team, and their team is on a pretty good win streak right now, crushing through some nice opponents. So Remark's going to be joining our casting crew, and also Duke. And we're gonna have to bring Duke in maybe next week or something to see put him up against the ISTL crew here. He's a really good guy though, and we sent out a casting thing on Reddit and got some pretty good reviews. So you guys will definitely be seeing them shortly. Good guys.
Yeah, no, and I'm really excited to have more casters on the crew. free up a little more of Vindicator's time. He's been spending too much time casting.
Yeah,
So.
I know. Good guy. Vindy's been all around. Sundays are hard to get, though, because people are always doing family stuff, and we got 2 whole clan wars. So, but yeah, Vindicator's been doing a great job, but we do need a little bit extra staff. And also, I'm going to say this a couple times tonight, guys. We are looking for people that are interested in helping out with some video production for our clan. We put out a thing on Reddit about that. So,
special prize for that. You actually get to hear Marine talk if you get put on the video production group. So
that is true. The masked man, you can hear talk.
That is something no one gets to do because no one can ever hear him on the stream. So
Nope. He is undercover. So yeah, it will be your treat. So we do have Moosey here doing a fast expand, pretty standard right now. What do you think we're gonna have out of these guys? I haven't seen any of these players play. I don't know their styles. I'm just excited to watch this game, basically. Hey, you should just cast the whole thing. I'm just going to watch it.
All right, that sounds like good. No, Moosey did do a 1 depot expand. Cough, cough. The best kind of 1 Rax expand. And
we'll talk about that later.
2 additional barracks coming down. He's got a bunker going up at the front. He didn't really SCV scout at all. He just sent 1 to the tower to check when stalkers were coming, if there was a zealot. He didn't go to his opponent's base, which means he's not going to lose that SCV, but by leaving it at the tower, he's essentially lost it. He actually brought it back and put a Marine there instead, so that's pretty cool.
Okay. So now he's going to lose the Marine. Nope, the Marine is getting on his horse, and he's going to get back. It's going to be close, yeah. Oh, yep, you got that little bit of high vision there, so the stalker couldn't get him, and he gets up the ramp and escapes, puts the Marine in the bunker, and he's going to be safe from any poking and prodding from this stalker because that bunker is down.
Yep, and our Terran took his 2 additional gases, so the most standard kind of 1 Rax expand you can possibly see. And our Protoss's Nexus is almost done here. He opened with a standard 1 gate expand, but with that chrono boost, his worker count should still be ahead, but of course we're going to have mules on the other side. So a really even game thus far, and we have a 2nd and 3rd gateway coming down, actually before a robo, and with that 2nd gas being taken so early, typically we see a robo, but it looks like we're going to see a little bit more of a sentry heavy opening, as we already have 2 out and a 3rd on the way. So a little bit of a variation here from Grape from the complete and total norm, but this is by no means like a weird build. It's just something that we don't see quite as often.
Yeah, absolutely. Stim already going over here on Moosey's side. Marauders are starting to pump out as well, so he's getting his composition up and ready to go for anything. We do see Terran a lot of times do those 2 medevac push-outs, really good for certain timings of the Protoss. But it looks like Moosey's going to move out right now, and if he moves out right now, he might just be getting a little bit of map control here, going to be checking this Stalker. Is he going to get that Stalker? No. With a little bit of stutter step micro, he might have been able to get that. That Stalker does escape. But, Stim is a little less than halfway done, so he's just getting a presence on the map at the moment. Doesn't want to engage without Stim, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't unusual at all, but Moosey didn't get that concussive shell, and if he did have that, he would have absolutely killed that stalker there at his front. But looks like he's going to add on a factory and a 2nd tech lab and a reactor, so relatively marauder-heavy build. He's going to be making those Marines, of course, but that means he's going to have a little bit less gas to be producing medevacs with, and as we can see, he's only built 1 eBay here, as opposed to the 2 we see sometimes. That's a little bit greedier, but if you go a little bit more Marine heavy, you can definitely afford to do that.
Absolutely. I really like how Moosey put this missile turret out in front. He actually has 0 scouting information right now on Grape. Honestly, if you look at his vision, he has 0. He doesn't even know. I mean, he can assume what his opponent's going, kind of, but he really doesn't know. This missile turret is going to allow him, just in case, if there is some sort of DT shenanigans, it will help so much. That's right behind that bunker. Also, it is going to deny this observer that's coming in right now. The observer is going to poke right in by Moosey's front army and take a couple shots. It might die if Grape is not controlling it properly, but now Moosey looks like he's moving.
Oh, sorry, good.
Oh, no, I was going to say Moosey's moving out on the map right in front of this observer right now. So this observer does see it. I'm sure Moosey, being such a high level, is going to spot that. But that turret is there, so that's nice.
Yeah, that missile turret at the very least is going to zone that observer out, so you can't see the exact composition his opponent has. Except Moosey, of course, now has moved out and shown the observer what his composition is. But it looks like we have a robotics bay coming down for Grape here. And you know what? I'm not going to be surprised at all if we see a Twilight Council come down and we see a 2-2 Colossus timing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That would be definitely a viable build here. We do have the first Immortal out on the battlefield right now. The Robotics Bay is just now done. We'll see if he tries to pop a Colossus out here very shortly. No Thermal Lance or anything has begun, but the first Colossus is out, and 1-1 is a little more than halfway done now. Moosey's moving out his factory onto the map. Basically going to get his first scouting going on right here with this first Marine moving up here by the third and this factory. The Marine stims in to make sure there's no third from the Protoss because that pylon is there. Sometimes it indicates that the Protoss has taken that third. But now that factory is going to be moving in to get some vital scouting information. And we still don't have Thermal Lance started, Buddha. I don't know if he's going to get the 2-2 upgrade before. Oh, there, Thermal Lance is just now starting.
He started his third first, so he actually didn't want to hit a timing.
Okay.
But that means his Twilight Council is going to be delayed, and now he's like missing time on his forges for a little bit here. So a little bit weird. He's taking the third with only one Colossus on the map, and I feel like if Moosey had really powered off of those two bases and not really started this third, and even if he had even done a techless build, right, no Starport or whatever, then this army would get absolutely shredded by just a stim with a lot of bio timing with no medevacs. But
and actually, Buddha, this bio is so heavy. If you look at the Marauder count, he has 15 Marauders in this army, and it looks like Moosey is going to move out. And the thing is, Buddha, he's dancing back and forth. He does have Vikings now. It looks like he might want to go into late game, but if he moved out right now, he would hit a pretty good timing here with only 2 Colossus out on the battlefield, no extended Thermal Lance. He could do a lot of damage, pending, not perfect force fields and things like that. But that is quite a heavy Marauder composition. Those things can do a lot of damage, especially with that medevac support, but we do see Moosey going into that Viking production very good. His composition is looking really strong.
Yeah, it really is. I have to say, though, on Grape's side, he's playing almost completely gateway unitless. Gateway unitless? I don't know. He's got very few gateway units, and now he's starting to add them on, but he really went for a lot of tech early, right? He went Colossus, he went double upgrades, he added a Twilight Council, and he added a third. All very, very quickly, and that means he was only producing on 3 gates, and he wasn't producing constantly all the time because he was really spending that money. But it looks like Moosey is coming forwards here with only 2 Vikings, but 4 medevacs, and again, like you said, that very heavy Marauder count, and he's got a 30 supply lead right now, so we're going to have to see how this engagement goes, but Grape, I'm a little bit nervous for him. We'll see.
I am too. Okay. That bio ball right now is pretty scary looking right now. It's good on top of that choke though with force fields and with those Colossi. It looks like Moosey's gonna. Oh, I thought he was possibly gonna try to go for the natural. That factory is finally almost gonna go down here. It looks like it is gonna burn down. We do have 4 Vikings now on the battlefield against these 3 Colossi. We'll see if they get any pop shots off. But these armies are just gonna dance back and forth for a little bit until we see some sort of engagement.
Now that factory is down, something I'd really like to see, actually, and I don't know how viable this would be, but if that observer, he lost the observer, I guess, but if that observer comes back in and sees there's only 1 starport, I really think that Grape could actually just throw down a second robo and just, say screw it and go mass Colossus with Stalkers here and, try to outproduce the Vikings.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Moosey still has a few more Vikings back at his base. He really needs to rally to his army. There he goes. They are coming to his army. So the Viking count's getting pretty good. We have 8 Vikings on the battlefield, Buddha. If you focus down those Colossi properly, those Colossi are really going to be taken down quite quickly, and we don't see a whole lot of tech difference here from Grape. He's not jumping into High Templars or anything yet. Oh, yes, he does. Never mind. The Templar Archive is down.
You liar!
I lied! Templar Archive is down, so he is preparing for a really more of the late game because these Vikings might be able to crush through these colos. No more colos are being produced at the moment, but we will see. Good force fields and things like that. They can do a lot of damage here. Both players, actually, Moosey's maxed at 200 right now to the 180, so we're gonna have a big massed army. Pylons are everywhere on the map right now for Grape, so that's really good of him. He's going to be able to warp in everywhere if he needs to harass or if he needs to reinforce his army once he starts pushing across the battlefield.
Yeah, and Moosey very intelligently notices his max, of course, and has added 2 additional command centers here. He's adding on 5 more barracks. That's in addition to the 4 he already added, getting close to max. He's now got 4 ghosts just chilling in his main, and I mean he's powering for that late game, but if there's one thing that he has to do here, it's engage away from his base. He cannot be right on top of his base, because Protoss can just warp in right away, but he has to actually create those units. So looks like now he's going to throw some SCVs away with this attack, and this is actually going to be pretty powerful against the limited splash damage that our Protoss has. Yeah, he has 5 Colossus, but all of these units are going to be completely spread out, right? He's got units of all different ranges. He's got Marines, he's got Marauders, he's got SCVs. It's going to create multiple different layers for the Protoss to have to strike through with those Colossus.
And this attack is going to happen just as Storm's finishing. Storm is like literally just going to be done by the time this attack hits, I think. And he's going to have just the amount. But we do have those Vikings on the battlefield. The big EMP being landed on that. Actually, no EMPs. And here comes the kiting. Moosey's in a really good position on the top of that ramp right now. He's focusing down those Colossus great with those Vikings. Now starting to spread his units out. No Storms have been landed yet. And there comes the first couple Storms. Not very good on that one. Now Moosey's starting to eat Storms, but he is backing up his army. Most of the Colossus are down, Buddha. And Moosey looks like he's taking a big advantage in this battle.
Yeah, man, no splash damage left at all. Only Stalkers, Zealots, and a couple of High Templar that are not being made into Archons. No more Colossus coming out onto the field at this point, and Grape can't even warp High Templar in now. If he does, he's got to get energy for it, so he's got to be way further back, and he's going to lose this 4th base, I think, almost definitely. These Stalkers not doing anywhere near enough damage. It's 2-2 to 2-2 in the upgrade count right now, and Moosey's taking a 30 supply lead, and look how many command centers he has. He has like 8 command centers on the map.
Moosey's playing so good right now, and still this high Marauder count is just decimating these Stalkers. Now a bunch more charged lots are being warped in. It's going to force Moosey to back up a little bit, but with Stim and those medevac support, he's going to be able to kite these Zealots until they are dead and push forward on these Stalkers, and it's going to be so hard for Grape to keep up with this production.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I mean, he can keep warping in, but he's got to make the right units here, right? He's not playing Terran where he's just supposed to make Marines and Marauders for the moment. He's got to make, you know, a proper number of High Templar, not too many Stalkers, not too many Zealots, and these Marauders aren't supposed to be good against Zealots, but this Marauder count is the Marauder count is too high. Yeah,
it's so high. 1 Colossus is going to add into this battle. Moosey fighting right on the ramp where Toss like it. 2 Archons are adding to the splash damage of Grape's army. Moosey stimming back another time. He does have some medevacs, not very much energy, but Moosey has so many CCs on the battlefield right now. Now, Grape does have the supply advantage.
What happened to the supply? Yeah. Oh, my God. Moosey's only at 43 Harvesters. He actually threw too many away.
I don't know. Look how many CCs. They are all orbitals at the moment, so he's at so many mules.
Look at his minerals.
Yeah, that is true. He's basically mining off 2 bases right now of minerals. So he needs to start moving these CCs out to more mineral patches here, but Grape is starting to get a little bit of momentum, has more High Templars added to his army. Now, does Moosey have any ghosts left? I don't think he does. Moosey has no ghosts left, and this army is coming right at him with quite a bit of High Templars and Archons in this composition, so we'll see how Moosey decides to engage this, but I think this might be a good timing for Grape to hit.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to know that it is, though. He just took a lot of damage there. Right now he's retaking his base. I think he might be thinking that he's a little bit further behind and that Moosey is already remaxed and just kind of chilling. I'm not really sure what's going through his head right now, but I don't know if I would think I was ahead after, even after killing that army is great.
Right, and now Moosey still, if you look at the production tab, is not adding any ghosts to his composition, which that's going to make these High Templars, if they're not morphed into Archons, really strong. He has quite a bit of them at 5 right now. With all those Archons, you know, EMPs do awesome to Archons as well, and it looks like Grape is now moving, posturing up possibly to hit Moosey in the front. And like you were saying, we do have a few DTs over behind Moosey's production, going to hamper away at a couple of these barracks. But, Buddha, like you were saying, Moosey can't afford to lose a battle close to his base. If he's going to lose one, or even trade efficiently with one, it's got to be close to his opponent's base because of how Terran, you know, remakes their army.
Yeah, definitely. That's the case. And he's actually out of scans right now, so he can't kill his DT. He does EMP it to uncloak it, but he did lose a tech lab in the meantime, or a couple of tech labs. So getting a little bit of damage done there for Grape. And, you know, now these high DTs are actually just going to be the most annoying thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Moosey might just need to, like, I don't know, make a planetary at his front? Does that even make sense? I don't know.
Something, or at least a bunker with some guys, and I think a planetary would make more sense because it frees up some supply, but he does have Ghost trying to chase these DTs around. One DT does get back up into the main, and right now Grape has DTs running everywhere, and the most annoying thing is they're not in big groups. They are single DTs, and they're all over this base, which makes it so annoying. Moosey says, screw this, I'm going out to engage this army, and Moosey's now posturing up in the center of the map, right above this choke. He scans, he looks down there. Does he have any ghosts in the army yet? No, the ghosts are so slow. Here come the ghosts, going to be pushing forward. How many EMPs? There come the feedbacks from the ghosts, but good EMPs land. There's still a lot of High Templar with energy, but Moosey has a really good concave at the top of this ramp, Buddha.
What? Did you cut out? Oh, God. Well.
No, I said Moosey has a really good concave at the top of this ramp. He did eat a few storms here, and his army is getting pretty weak, but is he going to be able to clean this up with medevac support? These fights are so close. It looks like he is barely going to lose this battle. Those 2 Colossi are still alive. 1 Viking, and we did have a few DTs in that army. Actually, probably helped with a little bit of that. But holy cow, these armies are trading really evenly at the moment. And Grape still staying up on his harass. Got DTs everywhere, man.
Yeah, I'm
now they're
sure
starting to die out.
Killed the natural with that DT.
Oh wow.
Joker, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, could you like cut out in the middle of that battle or something?
Oh,
or someone did.
All right. Well, I mean, these guys are both trying to remax at the moment, but Moosey does have more CCs, trying to move them out. But with those DTs present, it's so hard for Moosey to get an expansion going. It's so annoying. Good job by Grape. Grape is now attacking Moose's 4th here. Moosey does pick that up, but DT's still working on these production. And the worst thing is he's killing off the tech labs and reactors on these barracks because he knows by the time his army gets there, he's not going to be able to kill the barracks itself. But these tech labs take so much. I mean, tech labs and reactors take quite a long time to remake. So here goes Moosey, and Moosey's using so many scans that he desperately needs as for mules.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit annoying, actually, just that these DTs are being so effective. Now more DTs over by the 5th base of Moosey here. And let's take a look at the workers kill tab real quick. He actually scanned before any units were over there.
That was
I'm not really sure what the purpose of that was, but there have been 60 workers killed this game by Grape.
Holy cow. Oh, we have a High Templar actually storming some mules over at the 4th base of Moosey. High Templar is going to get picked off by these 2 Marines. Nope, they're just going to pass each other. Holy crap. Free High Templar. These 2 Marines are like, what up? They're like, High Templar's like, not a whole lot. All right, have a good one, bud. See you in the next battle. Took off. Now, dude, these DTs are so annoying. 10 and 9 SCV kills on these 2 DTs over at the 5th base of Moosey. Now, Moosey is, he has to be getting frustrated right now. And right now,
he's
Grape's
down to
army,
19 workers, Joker.
This is quite a big deal. I mean, he does have a lot of orbitals still, so he can call in mules and he can remake workers. And now he's actually starting to remake quite a bit of workers at the moment. But I don't know, man. He's got to put an end to these DTs soon. I don't know what he's going to do.
He's actually not really producing anything. He's got 1,000 minerals and 2,000 gas, and he's at 160 supply. So I'm not sure if he's. I don't know what he would be saving that money for. He's spending it now, I guess.
And it looks like the Protoss is going to engage this army up here on top of this plateau here, and Moosey's going to try to get some EMPs off. He does. The storms are so good. Moosey really needs to get out of those storms right now, and Moosey, it looks like he might be close to losing this battle. Good job on starting to dodge those storms and trying to split up his army right now, but that Protoss army is too much, and it looks like the toss is going to be able to clean Moosey up right there. Is Moosey going to be able to reproduce? No. There is the GG. Grape takes game 1.
Wow. That is impressive. DTs
I'm impressed, man.
Are pretty annoying, huh?
Oh my god, that had to be the most annoying game for Moosey ever. Those GTs were everywhere, and at first we're like, oh, he'll be all right. You know, he's got to mess with a few of these GTs, but no. Grape morphed in. I'd like to see how many DTs he actually morphed in. I bet you it was upwards of 15, maybe even more than that.
Tell you what, your job tonight, Joker, is to go through that replay and count every DT that got worked.
And bring it back to the chat and be like, all right, guys. They'll be like, Joker, we don't even care that much. It was a lot, though. A lot of DTs. Really good job by Grape. Because, I mean, Moosey took a pretty convincing first battle, and it was looking really good for him. And that was probably one of the only ways, really, for Grape to climb back in it. And he did so very efficiently. That kept Moosey really back at his base What could he have done differently? Like you said, maybe planetaries with some turrets, but I mean, that
Uh,
harass was going on everywhere.
yeah, and planetaries with turrets are. I mean, it would have been okay on like the low ground below his natural ramp, right? So he kind of cordons off that entire section, but then
Mhm.
he'd have to put more at his other bases, and
Oh,
a couple of times he actually scanned DTs, but like wasn't attacking them, even though he
yeah,
had units there. He like assumed it would be in range, kind of, especially the two in his main that came in early, the one that killed his natural off.
right.
So a couple of control mistakes from Musi that were really minor, but ended up being very major when the game came down to it at the end. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough loss for Musi. He really had a pretty good, really good macro, really good first battle. He was probably feeling pretty confident, but great job by Grape, never giving up, finding out the tactic that's going to tear Musi up, and it was the DT harass, honestly, that really brought him back in the game. Good job by Grape. We're going to see who Impulse brings out next to fight Grape with. This is Grape's, I believe it's his ISTL debut. At least we haven't seen him yet, I don't think. Did you cast a game by my intent yet?
This season?
Yes.
No, this is week 3, right? I don't think so.
Okay. Anyways, it might be Grape's debut. I haven't seen him yet, but it might not be. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Moosey doesn't seem to be very sour. He seems to be in a pretty good mood. So
no,
I
yeah,
would say he played pretty well there, actually. A couple of minor mistakes, but I don't know. It could have been the fact that he was live on air playing for the first time for Impulse. It could have been a
yep.
number of things, but he looked pretty good. I would say definitely get better playing on stream.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. He's going to be a strong Terran in the Impulse roster. I'm not worried about Moosey at all. Now, guys, we're going to take a quick second to thank some of our sponsors. Impulse Esports, obviously, we run this whole production, so thank Impulse Esports. Whenever you get a chance, hit them up at impulseesports.com or on Twitter at imp_esports.
Donations to Imp Joker at.
yeah. Send your credit card to impjoker.com. I will make sure I get your funds to the boss. Probably not. CSN, also Cybersports Network, is sponsoring our stream. They're also putting up the prize money for the MVP award. Also, Vivid Arts, they do banners, Twitch and Twitter backgrounds and everything. Please hit them up at Insidia SC2 on Twitter. G-Kick Network, they make a lot of our ISTL wrap-up videos and also helping out with a little bit of the production and things like that. Follow them at G-Kick Perry or at G-Kick Network if you would like. Maxed Out Studios, making some of our videos, also some of our commercials and stuff. And also, guys, as of yesterday, we just got licensed with Monster Cat. Now, if you guys don't know what Monster Cat, check them out at monstercat.com. They're a big music label, I guess.
Marine
And
played some of it for me earlier. Sick,
oh, it's
dude.
sick. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like dubstep, like sick music. You guys got to check them out for real. And we're going to be playing some of that tonight at the on the ISTL. So please check them out. And I think we're going to put their logo up here pretty soon. We just got the word yesterday. So Monster Cats, check them out.
Yes.
They are sick, though. I was listening to some of their stuff. I was like, hell yeah, man.
All right, guys. Well, game number 2 will be coming up in just a couple of minutes here. Marine does need to invite all of the important people to the game, namely me, and then maybe Joker will get to jump in here.
If I'm lucky.
If he's lucky. But yeah, thanks a lot for checking us out, you guys. If you have any feedback for our casting or anything like that, send your hate mail to Joker. He is the casting manager for the ISTL.
Yeah, you can follow me at ImpJoker. You can follow Buddha at I'm Not Good at StarCraft on Twitter. So
I'm not
hit
good
us
at
up, guys.
StarCraft on Twitter. I'm actually going to change my Twitter to that and see if I get any followers. Hang on a sec. Profile.
Hang on a sec. No. All right, so it looks like Zines is going to be coming out, 14 Impulse. We're going to have a PvP, and we got to see Zines a little bit yesterday. Unfortunately, lost to Shinya. They were having a little bit of a DT race. And
DT race.
DT race. They actually put two DTs next to each other, and they just took off in a race. And the first one to win the foot race won the game.
I see a custom map in the making here.
DT race. I don't think that's going to make it to the top charts. Even though those are the fastest freaking unit in the game, bar none. I've seen
It'll
him.
be
I've seen
Blizzard's
him.
it'll be Blizzard's
I've seen him.
custom games fault, not my fault.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, Zion's did lose that DT race-ish. I'm gonna call it that because Shannon did have a cannon in his base. Was quite prepared for that. So we'll see how Zion's does this game. Like I said, this is also another decent, pretty new recruit for Impulse. Only played for our team for a couple months now, so I'm excited to see him play once again. Now
Yeah,
spawning.
multi-time GM player too. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. Almost all these guys are up in the GM rank, if not like rank 1 masters. These are very high-level games. So introducing Zion's in the top left, spawning as the blue Protoss. I kind of did that backwards. I'm like, introducing.
Yeah, I was like waiting for you to say his name, and I was like, oh wait.
Zion's. All right, do your thing.
Well, thanks for ruining that. So at the bottom right, for my intent, we do have MYI's Grape spawning as the red Protoss, and we are on Ohana here, which is a pretty interesting map for PvP. Most of the PvPs I see on here actually go into Phoenix play, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Robo opening. And 4 gates aren't too bad on this map either because of the surface area that you can get pylons down to warp in on the high ground with. There's a lot of it, and if someone's like not in the position to see those pylons go down immediately, then you can often catch somebody off guard really easily. But I hope we don't see a 4 gate because that would be pretty lame.
We'll see if we're going to get late game toss or just some sort of early aggression out of both these two. Now, guys, a little bit ago, Buddha was talking about how viable this is for Terran, by the way. He was talking about how viable this one barracks, no, what was it? Oh, one barracks, one supply depot opening that he loves so much. Me and Buddha played recently, and I crush that every time because Buddha's not that good. And I tend to pull Terrans.
You are the worst metagamer.
It's still economical, too. It's still, I'd have to show you guys, right? 10 pool him. I just get 6 lings. I just run right up his, he's got like 1 Marine. He has to bring all his SCVs. They die in a fiery pit, and it's awesome. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty good play, that one depot that Buddha loves so much, but
look, I was playing with a huge handicap, though. I was sober.
Okay, I'll give him that. He plays pretty good when he's a little intoxicated. So we got a little bit of probe harass coming out of Zion's right now. Grape not having any of that with a good reaction. Going to be poking back at Zion's probe. And at the other side of the base, Grape has not actually moved out his scouts. Just now moving out, so he doesn't know anything from Zion's spot here. But yeah, looks like we're just going to be pretty slow here for a little bit.
Yeah, and both players taking their second guess. And, as Vindy would say, PvP is the matchup of probe harassment. That's what he equivocated it to last night.
Yeah, I heard that yesterday. That was great. That was great.
All right. So it looks like we have Grape trying to get his first stalker out very quickly, and it looks like it could be a 3 stalker rush too. He's got almost 50 chrono boost saved up. His second gate is finishing, and on Zion's side we have 1 gateway still. No additional tech coming down quite yet. I'm sure he's waiting to kill his probe off. And we'll see it right now. It's a Twilight Council, so it actually could be a DT rush again.
Oh, wow. And, yeah, that's definitely a possibility. We are going to have a few stalkers out on the map for Grape. He's not chronoing them quite yet. He still has quite a bit of chrono saved up. Oh, there he goes. He's using it on Warp Gate, so we might see a lot of early pressure here out of Grape, which with this DT opening, or if DT, with this Twilight opening from Zion's, could be pretty scary if he doesn't see this coming soon.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see. I don't know.
Thank you for that.
I don't know.
Joker,
just my analytical perspective, you might be right.
You might. I'm going to give you, you might be right. All right, so the first couple stalkers are out from Zion's. He does have that Zelnaga. He sees these stalkers coming from Grape. Grape also bringing a probe to possibly drop a forward pylon here. That's exactly what he's probably going to do. Now, we do have Blink being started from Zion, so that's what he decided to go for. No DT is going to be coming out of him. 2 stalkers are going to be prodding up the ramp here shortly. 3 stalkers, I am sorry. That proxy pylon, he's going to be putting it up probably 2 here on the low ground, right below his natural. Now, Zions needs to snipe that. Oh, man, if he could have sniped that probe, that would have been sick. But those pylons are going down. Zion sees this coming. His warp tech is now just finishing. Is he going to get that pylon? That's a big deal. He does get that pylon, so that is going to force Grape to actually go home.
I think that was the most last-second cancel I have ever seen in my entire life.
He got that off?
That could not have been closer. Yeah, like the shots were in the air and it got canceled. So
Oh my god, I didn't know he got that off. I thought that was killed.
we do have a 2-gate 3 stalker expand out of Grape with a Robo follow-up actually. And on the other side for Zion, we do have a Blink Obs all in possibly. He's definitely going to be getting an observer and doing some harassment in that sense, but we'll see how much money he saves up for a Nexus here. Or if he decides to save up money.
And Blink Ops could be pretty good right here. Just a few sentries out on the map for Grape. Grape trying to go into more Robotech units here. So do we? Is that?
Zion's gonna kill something here, man. He can commit, and then force fields only let one stalker up, so maybe not.
Zion's doing pretty good making sure none of those units died yet, and now he's putting a 4 and actually baiting out a couple more force fields right there. 2 more force fields warps put down to buy Grape a little bit more time, but we do have an observer en route. No, actually, we are going to have a warp prism instead.
Oh, man, and a robotics bay, and this Nexus is finished. I don't know if Grape can actually hold this off. These 6 stalkers with reinforcements from this pylon might be able to snipe this Nexus by themselves with no tech besides that blink whatsoever, and this warp prism is going to make it so that even if this base comes up, Grape is going to have a difficult time splitting his forces.
Oh my god, and Grape's going to come out and try to save this Nexus right here, and Zion's pulls out. That Immortal is being pretty scary right now, and now the more forward pylons are being put down, and that Warp Prism is coming in with a few Zealots, so Zion's is playing this pretty decently, but do you think Grape actually is going to save that Nexus, or is he going to take too much damage right here if Zion blinks up? And here it comes. Not very many force fields left on those sentries. They've been baiting out a lot, and Grape is going to move down the ramp just a little bit and drop 2 more force fields, so there's no force fields left for Grape at the moment, and here comes that Warp Prism on the back side, Buddha, and this is going to be a very nice dual-pronged attack here from Zion's.
Yeah, and oh my god, Grape is actually moving his whole army back into his base.
Oh, he's going to lose that Nexus. Oh, nope, he's prodding back and forth. Now Zion's is doing some pretty good damage in the main. Grape does morph in a few stalkers. Grape's doing a really good job microing against those Zealots in the main while also fighting in the front, but I mean, that Warp Prism, he's just warping straight in there.
Oh man, Zion's actually stopped microing in the main, and Grape actually got the last hit on his own stalker, so that was a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, look, Zion's just running around all over the place, and he's doing a good amount of damage. He's up by, 11 supply right now. Not a huge deal. He's up in workers, actually, compared to his opponent that expanded. And he's got 2 Colossus out on the field. I don't think Grape is going to have enough to stop this because he's not making any more Immortals at the moment. He's only got 2 on the field, which is a decent number, but he's going to be trying to make probes, and this probe count might be what ends up killing him because it's going to be a little bit too high, and he's not going to have money invested in units when this attack hits.
I think you're absolutely right, but if Zions does not take this next battle here, I don't think he plans on expanding. Oh, he might. He has a probe posturing up there. But really good pressure from Zions. Looks like he's going to drop in that Warp Prism once again. Warp in one thing, cancel. Is he going to get out in time? Yes. Zion's, man, has really good reaction time right now. He's saving all his units. He really has not lost very many of these stalkers in those battles, being so cost efficient with his units right now. And it looks like Grape's going to move out a little bit past his ramp right now, trying to ward off some of these blink stalkers and maybe kill this forward pylon. Zion spots that immediately. And Grape has blink himself, so Grape might get a few extra kills here. Now the Colossi are also being rallied. Grape does not. I don't know if Grape wants to fight this army out in open field or if he wants to fight him up on some ramps or something, but he is now has the Colossus. Oh my god, he snipes 2 sentries, possibly 3 from Grape, and that is such a big deal. No more sentries in that army, or 1 more sentry in that army, and now the Colossi have entered the battle. They're going to be doing so much splash damage. We'll see how he tries to micro them. Good job by Zions, is pushing this force back. Is he going to get that Immortal? Yes. There's going to be no more Immortals on the battlefield for Grape, and this is looking quite grim for him. More reinforcements being warped in from Zion's, and now Zion's is at the front door. This Nexus is probably going to go down. Ooh, good blink by Grape, trying to pick up a Colossi, and there's the GG. Zion's takes that PvP away from My Intent, putting Impulse tied. Now they are tied with My Intent. Really good play, man.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. I mean, there was a 20 supply lead for Zion's when that battle started, and that means that Zion's actually had a 30 army supply lead because 10 of that extra supply was in workers opposed to his opponent.
Man.
So Zion's that all came down to everything he did in that game, right? He harassed enough to really do a lot of damage to that Nexus to force the units to come out front so that he could harass in the back incredibly effectively. And then he hit this like Colossus timing afterwards, and everything just went absolutely perfectly. And he even left a probe at his natural, so when an observer was flying over, it'd be like, oh, he's thinking about expanding. When in reality, I don't think that was his plan at all.
Wow, that was pretty good analysis right there. I didn't think of half those things. Yeah, no, Zion's played. He played excellent.
You can find me on Twitter at bad@StarCraft.
That'll come back to bite me on it. Oh man, that's some good stuff. No, yeah. I actually didn't know Zion's had those Colossi coming. I was so intrigued with the battle and he had such good control with those stalkers and that warp prism just constantly back and forth. Anytime that army tried to move back to try to stop that warp prism harass, he was right up in the grill trying to snipe that Nexus. So it really put Grape in between like a rock and a hard place. And I was too busy watching that battle. He was moving his units, so much that I didn't even see the tech that was going on. He was still macroing hardcore behind that, and he had 2 Colossus on the way. Did they have extended thermal lance? I think they did. Yeah, they did.
At the end, yeah, absolutely.
So, wow, really good job by Zions. That's the first game. I think he's only played 2 games in the ISTL, like, ever.
Oh,
he lost
ISTL?
1. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds right. Did he play for Flow Gaming previously? In ISTL? I don't know.
He might. I don't know if Flow Gaming was Flow Gaming ever in the ISTL. I don't think they were.
I thought they were for a little bit.
Okay, so our producer says Flow Gaming was in Season 2, but they died out, I think, pretty early in the season. So I don't know if Zion's got too much playing time, but yes, at least for Impulse, 2 games, and he lost the first one to that DT race, and now looking really strong. So we'll see who My Intent sends out next. Grape, definitely a good opponent, but they also have a pretty deep roster. They have McLeod, they have Shinya, they have Paradise. So we will see who they decide and who's available to them.
Yeah, they've got 3 players left to send out, so they could even send someone to snipe Zions right now, because Zions is a top-tier Protoss player.
Yes.
So, again, thanks for checking us out, you guys. Welcome to ISTL. We do have events every Monday, Wednesday, Sunday.
Yep.
Saving here. Yes, thank you.
Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, yes.
Yeah, so make sure you guys follow the stream if you enjoy the content we put out. These are the top-level players that are not quite known yet, all very high Masters GM players. In a giant team league with a nice prize pool at the end, so we're trying to give them as much exposure as possible, because that's what they ultimately need right now. Joker being one of those players.
Yeah. I hope Impulse doesn't put me in. My intent is screwed.
I have to say,
they're so screwed. They should run for the hills.
Impulse would have to be pretty far ahead to send someone like you in.
They would have to be pretty drunk, is what you meant to say. Yeah, no, I just cashed and have fun on the streams. You guys might have seen me on the stream earlier playing some custom games. And I'm a caster manager for the team. But I'm definitely not going to be playing because I don't want to all kill My Intent this early in the season. But that being said, we're going to see who My Intent brings out next. They're a very established team, by the way. If you guys haven't seen these guys play, they got second in Season 2. Is that correct? Yes, second in Season 2. Which was the first season they were in, and they're really strong. Second, just short of Western Wolves, which is basically a pro team now, I would say.
Yeah, man.
Western Wolves was kind of on the fence between semi-pro and pro, but now, all their players are, they got some big-name sponsors. They got Zicto Mini and Starnin and Sort Up, and these guys are beating people like Naniwa and Muslim and, like, big players in big tournaments and stuff. So, I'm pretty sure they're considered like in the elite, like pro. Maybe not the super top, but like they're pro now.
Yeah, we kept them around because we want to see can anyone beat them.
Yeah.
Let's see some players take some games off of some big names here. And Western Wolves was happy. Oh man, I just said their name, and now everyone's gonna laugh at me for saying.
I've been making fun of Buddha.
Now there's only gonna be 118 people laughing at me. So.
I've been making fun of Buddha, guys. I'm gonna try to make him say Western Wolves again because he just doesn't know that there's.
I cannot remember to put the LV in there. It's always just a W.
It's just Wolves. He spells it W-O-O-V.
Wolves.
It's pretty awesome. Anyways, no, they are definitely top tier. Indefinitely in the ISTL. So we're gonna see, and that's what this league's all about, though. It's about up and coming teams. So if a team, other teams can take out, a team as established as Western Wolves, then they're ready for the next level as well, probably.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, we are still waiting on the next player for MYI. Do we have? We don't have a next player yet. Do we want to take a small break then? Will this be a good time? I guess so. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for sticking with us. We will be back in like 1 to 2 minutes here, and you can hear some awesome dubstep in the background. Yeah, we'll be right back. Thanks for watching.
Stick with us. Stick with us. guys? Welcome back to the ISTL. I am Joker, casting with Buddha. Just take a little quick break right there. How do you guys like the music? That is our new music licensed. I said that we're licensed by Monster Cat, and they are dope for hooking us up with that, guys. We're going to be playing lots of different stuff from them because they gave us literally like 2 gigs of like music that we can use. If you guys don't know who they are, check them out at monstercat.com. They are huge.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry,
Marine, what was the title of that song? Because somebody just asked what it was. It's called... You are a terrible person. Apparently it's called Rogue, so I would just Google Rogue and Mad... Or, not Mad
Monster
Cat. Monster Cat. It's just... it's M-Cat, and just automatically goes to Mad Cats for some reason. It's, alright, I will type that out since this is going to be 2 minutes delayed. So, Joker, keep talking.
Now today in weather... What do you want me to say? It looks like we're starting off here. My intent is looking for a player to try to take down Zion's, guys. Zion's looks really strong in that game. Really good Protoss. I'm glad to see him starting to play good. Now, I don't think Zion speaks English. I don't know what ethnicity he is. Or he does a little bit. Right, Marine? What ethnicity is he? He's not Korean, is he? He's Spanish. Okay, so Zion's is Spanish.
Quit getting people's races so you can stereotype them.
No, I always do that to Buddha. But no, Zion's is Spanish. He doesn't speak a whole lot of English, but he shows up. He plays hard, man. This guy's awesome. And it looks like my intent's going to send out Paradise, who we got to see a little bit of yesterday against... Did we see Paradise? Yes, we did. I think he played Ender in TVT.
He played Ender in TVT, and it was a pretty cool game, actually. They both went Banshee. And
that's right. That's right. Yeah, that was a really good game. If you guys did not see the games yesterday, they were pretty amazing. The one comes to mind is the very first game when it was Ender versus McLeod, and it came down to 1 BC and like 2 Vikings versus like 8 Marines at the very end. Literally, McLeod had about 170 supply at one point. During this base trade, 2 Enders, like 60 supply, but he had it all in tanks and Hellions, and Ender got 1 BC out, and it ended up winning.
And that won him the game?
Yeah. Absolutely. It was ridiculous.
I watched some of those games yesterday. I did not see that one. I might have to go check that out if I have like 3 hours of free time. A Terran versus Terran base trade. Holy.
Yeah. Tell me about it. It was long, but boot up. We're going to get jumping right into the next game. We are on Antigua Shipyard and spawning at the top right as the red Protoss Zions for Team Impulse.
And at the bottom left, we have 2 tickets to... we have My Intense Paradise spawning as the blue Terran player, and of course our Terran chose this map. Good map choice. This is a pretty good map for drops and stuff, but sometimes we see that weird Forge expand from Protoss on this map against Terran, which has not really been all that common lately, but I don't know. I want to see it. Do you want to see it, Joker?
Yeah, no, I'd love to see it. The Terran love this map. Look at all the spaces you can drop on. There's so many spots to abuse. Protoss can't guard. They can't guard everywhere on this. Drops are so viable in this gameplay. And did you guys hear Buddha's voice just a second ago? Did you guys just hear him sing? Holy, he tried out for American Idol. Needless to say, he didn't make it past the preliminary. But just a great voice he has, like an angel. Small.
They asked me to be a host. So,
they asked you to be a host.
I turned them down. I told them I already have a hosting job for the ISTL. But
that is some dedication right there. Thank you for that. But yeah, I'd love to see that Forge expand you were talking about. It looks like that's not going to be the case. Is that what you're talking? Did you say Forge expand that you were talking about?
Yeah, the Forge expand where you take a really fast third base in Protoss versus Terran.
Yep, gotcha. So it looks like I'm cutting Buddha off at all times, but it looks like Zions is moving across the base with that first probe. Is Paradise going to CC first?
Yeah, man. Come on, bro. Be a man.
Be a man. It's going to go drop the CC right there at the exact same time that Zions is going to spot that. We'll see what Zion's follow-up is to this, but definitely a couple stalkers out early if he can get them out, and a Zealot and a stalker could be viable if we don't get a quick bunker. It could do quite a bit of damage. We'll see what he decides to do here.
Yeah,
shortly.
I'm sure Paradise has plenty of experience with this. And, oh my God, no way! Did
What?
you know that probe just got trapped between the cybernetics core and pylon and gas geyser?
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
That way he
I
canceled
could
that?
not believe it.
I saw him cancel that. You go, oh my God, no way. I'm like, oh my God, what? Is he dropping down like 3 gates?
He's just
Get
dropping
Zealot
3 more
rush.
gates, and he's going 4-gate zealot with no core.
Works. It does work. I was wondering, that was a pretty quick cancel, and he noticed that real quick. That was
Yeah, I was a little bit confused, but I did not think you could get trapped there. We do have a command center first out of Paradise, like you pointed out. And one thing I kind of want to see someone do that I haven't seen yet, really any U.S. players do it, especially in the ISTL, is I've been seeing this 2 barracks and then factory and starport off of 1 base, and you go like stim marines with siege tanks into medevacs, and you just like make bunkers outside your opponent's base and like force your way down their throat. It's pretty cool and pretty deadly, but I don't know. I haven't really seen people do that yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I'd like to
Just
see that.
GSL, man. GSL.
Yeah, do you see lots of awesome stuff in the GSL, man? Those guys are quite innovative.
Whoa, what is this?
Yeah, look at this. We do have Stalker's going to be chronoed out pretty hardcore here from Zion,
dude.
so that is going to be a
This
little
is
bit
the
of
MVP
pressure.
Tails build.
All right,
It's
explain
gonna be a
it.
5 stalker rush.
Explain to us.
5 stalker rush. 5 stalker rush. There's going to be 1 bunker. There's going to be no marauders, and Zion's is going to walk past the bunker. And
right now,
there's gonna
Zion's
be
is
Marines with no bunker and no stim and no marauders and stuff like that.
holy cow! And right now, Zion's is just poking in and out. Oh my God! And Paradise is going to move out with a few of his Marines and trying to get that Stalker. Does get a little bit of hull damage on it, but that Stalker does escape. Now Paradise dropping down another bunker. He might be seeing this coming. Zion's now also dropping down a Nexus, so we might not be seeing that, Buddha.
Yeah, he had that 50 chrono boost and the 2 gateways finishing the 2nd and 3rd stalker at the same time. So I'm a little bit confused as to why we didn't see it. And oh my God, look at this SCV in the main base of our Protoss player next to that stalker.
What the? Okay,
That's
now
what
the Stalker season. They're literally right next to each other in the smoke. I wonder what that would have looked like in real life to be like, see like a shadowy figure. Like, what the hell is that? Is that an
Oh, I'm
SCV?
sure that's just the drug dealer in the corner
Is
of our
that
base.
SCV? The SCV tries to like sound like another stalker. He's like, I don't know what a stalker sounds like. I don't talk.
If only
Toss.
I could notice important things and not the...
Yeah. You're like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, what? What kind of tech? You're like, look at these 2 units here dancing in the corner. I'm like, oh, that's Buddha for you. So, but I think Paradise did notice that he was chronoing out both those gates and did drop that extra bunker, tried to wall off pretty quick. So Zion's also poking up, saw that other bunker go down, says, he might have been trying to go for that build you were talking about, and he's just like, I don't know. I don't know if the cost is going to, if it's going to really work out. So we did drop that Nexus here, and now he's in full production, dropping 2 more gates at the moment. Got that Twilight cancel already down. We'll see what sort of tech he decides to go.
I'm calling DT Warp Prism.
DT Warp Prism. You guys heard it. You guys did hear it first, and there's the Dark Shrine. A scan was dropped. Yeah, a scan was dropped from Paradise. The Warp, but it did not see that Dark Shrine. It scanned towards the middle. He saw that expansion going up. So a lot of times, I mean, DTs usually come a lot earlier if you're going for some sort of DT rush or anything. So this could kind of catch Paradise off guard. Paradise does have 2 orbitals though. It's going to depend on how, if he can spot this, if he can see this coming, and if he has scans. But we do not have any missile turrets in production at the front or anything like that quite yet. Oh, yes, we do. A missile turret is being put down right in the front. Are we going to see a drop? Do we have a robo out? No, we don't. So just DTs. We'll see how he decides to use this. But with that wall-off missile turret and everything in the front, it's going to be tough to get in there.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And actually, our Terran player here has gone for 1-1 at the same time. And that's going to delay his starport a little bit. As we can see, he wanted to make it, but didn't have the gas for it quite yet. Now double forge for Zions. So I think he's just going to harass a little bit with the DTs. He's not going to do anything, of course, because there is no missile turret. But, yeah, this 1-1 definitely tells us that he doesn't want to end the game right away. And is it actually going to be for Charge Lot Archon? No. Oh, my God, look at this supply. What is going on? This game is insane.
Now, Paradise just scanned the front of Zion's base and saw near 0 units. He saw 2 sentries and a stalker. So he dropped another scan. He still has not spotted the DT. He doesn't know any of the tech that Zion's is going for. Trying to sneak an SCV in right now, but the stalker and sentry are going to kill that. He does have a supply depot sitting down here at the 3rd to know when Zion's decides to expand, but Zion's has a couple DTs sitting at the front of Paradise base. Looks like one took a little bit of damage there as well. So actually, yes, Paradise does know DTs are on the map and viable. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out here. Zion's going to be killing that supply depot right now, posturing up to take a 3rd. He has the money for it.
Yeah, call me crazy, but not call me maybe. Call me crazy, but. I think Zion's is going to be able to hold any attack that comes into him, man. He's adding a bunch of gateways, and he's just going for 1-1 and this charge here, and he's going to have the ability to make Archons, of course, also. So really getting a very unit-heavy composition, but it's going to trade pretty effectively, even against Stim. There are no medevacs. Well, there's one medevac out, I think, right?
Two are actually rallied to the middle of the map, and it looks like Paradise is moving his army out. Now, like we said before, this map is terrible for Protoss to stop these drops. These drops can hit from virtually anywhere. We do have a nice photon cannon in the back of the main here for Zion's, but looks like we might have some dual prong action coming out of Paradise here shortly. Zion's moved right across the middle of the map. He's so close to this army with this probe. This probe's like, do I want to go in the smoke? What's in there, man? What's in there? Don't go in the smoke! Oh, and he went in the smoke, and he does see that army posturing up in the middle of the map. I think he caught the medevacs too, so Zion's is going to be starting to prepare for this attack.
Yeah, and without Blink, it's going to be a little bit harder to stop those drops, of course. Charge Lot's going to trade effectively, relatively speaking, but it's even upgrades right now. I mean, it's 1-1 to 1-1. 2-2 has started for both of our players here. It's only just begun. Joker just wants to hear more of my singing.
God.
And, yeah, we have a 3rd base coming down for Zion's. No 3rd. Oh, it's starting for Paradise. Not at the 3rd location, but it's going to be relatively even. We're going to have a huge engagement at the front here, Joker.
Yep, here's the big stim from Paradise. Charge Lot Archon, good force fields. Is going to take away a lot of that kiting from those Marines. More Zealot's going to get more put on the high ground, and he has completely trapped that whole Terran army. Paradise is trying to move behind that, but Zion's had such a great engagement in that battle, and it looks like he's going to be pushing Paradise back to his base. Wow. Those were really good force fields. He's going to be moving up to the center of the map, trying to gain control right there, and all the medevacs and Marines are hightailing it home. Really good engagement for Zion's.
Yeah, I don't think Paradise should have attacked there without Ghosts, actually. He knew there were Archons in that composition, right? So, a little bit of a weird decision. I don't know if he didn't know that Charge was done or the upgrade situation or anything like that, but definitely a weird decision to go in there with all the, you know, really Ghost counterable units there. Archon, Sentry were the biggest parts of that. Without those, that attack is going to absolutely crush through Charge Lot Archon, but without the kiting, because of the sentries, it didn't work at all, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also Zion's is going to be okay with this. He moved there. He checked out the 3rd. He's going to be okay with pulling back to the middle of the map. He doesn't want to try to force his way up that ramp, obviously, at this point of the game. But he checks. He said no 3rd from the Terran right now. He's probably going to check a little bit more around the map. But he is sitting on 3 bases comfortably right now. We do have a drop loaded up Buddha towards the north west side of the map. He's going to be going to try to hit Zion's 3rd, but look at this photon cannon placement, and look at the rally of these medevacs. It is going to land right on top of the photon cannon. I love it. Zion's is playing absolutely incredible right now.
Yeah, this cannon is definitely going to deter a lot of that. And look at that pylon going up to scout a drop that might be incoming, and you know it is incoming. So his army in a little bit out of position here. He's going to lose some probes, going to lose the cannon, but the cannon delays this for a long time. DT is going to delay it from doing damage even longer. One medevac full of units goes down. That's going to hurt Paradise a lot. They are now again even on supply. Harvester count currently sitting at 72 to 66 in our Protoss players' favor. So both players at the count they want for Harvesters for the most part, and all the tech has just gone down for Zion's. He's getting that robotics support bay, the double robo facility, the Templar Archives just finished. He's getting 3-3. And this is a build that I really like to do in PvT. It's Templar into double Robo Colossus once you get your 3rd, and then start a 4th. And it's incredibly deadly because they have ghosts and stuff, but the ghosts are actually not nearly as useful against a very Colossus-heavy composition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have 3 DTs, 3 Archons, and 3 High Templars, and only one Ghost so far on the battlefield. That's a lot of shield. That's a lot of energy units there, and looks like we have another drop going to come towards the main of Zion. Zion does also have a cannon there as well. We'll see. He has added a lot more gates, so he should be able to warp in and possibly defend against this. But his army, is, like you said last time, is a little bit out of position. But last time he handled it so well. And look at that. Look at this probe. Pylon scout again. Is that serious? A pylon scout again. This guy just has the best game sense ever. We have a dual prong. Another drop's going to be coming at the third of Zion's. Another cannon was placed there from Zion, so he has 2 cannons, and he warped in. Zion's map presence right now is perfect. He is actually shutting down anything Paradise is trying to throw at him. Paradise is going to come try to load up into the main once again. He scans there first, and now he's going to drop there. We'll see how Zion's reacts.
Yeah, and well, yeah, it's a little bit slow on that one in particular. I don't think he saw the medevacs actually at the beginning, and these DT's going to get cleaned up very quickly. Good awareness from Paradise to know that that was coming in. DT shrine going to go down, but I don't think the DTs are going to be all that efficient until maybe a 4th, 5th, and 6th go for our Terran player, if that does happen to be the case.
Yep, another drop coming here at the 3rd also, Buddha. We'll stop you real quick just to check this attack out. Zion's is so quick with his reaction, only losing a few zealots in that battle, but Paradise is doing a pretty good job of keeping those medevacs and keeping those units alive. Just dropping in and trying to keep Zion's back in his base for now. Good job, and Zion's decides to take a 4th base in the middle of the map.
And I think he just made a huge mistake. He just showed that he had Colossus on the map, and now his 3rd and 4th are out, but Vikings have now started being produced, and if it's just a gateway Archon composition, Ghosts are going to do fine against that, and it would be a pretty even fight. But if he had hit those 4 Colossus and then hit with it with no Vikings, which I think he's going to be able to do anyways due to the only 1 starport, I think this battle's going to go really well if he micros. He's not paying attention now.
Oh my god, that was actually a great engagement for Paradise. We'll see if he ends up being able to clean all this up. It looks like he is going to. Those Zealots were first attacking those barracks. That was a huge mistake from Zion. So they were fighting the barracks at first, where the other army was taking away a lot of the Stalkers and now trying to focus down the rest of the Colossi. Zion's is in a little bit of trouble right now. He's being forced back to his base, and we'll see what his warp gate cooldown is looking like. But right now, Paradise is on the offensive in full force. He has a lot of Ghosts on the battlefield, Vikings and medevacs, and he is streaming across the battlefield.
Yeah, like you said, an absolutely huge mistake by Zion's there. Really not paying attention to his army nearly as much as he should have. And now he's warping in 60 Ts to try to hold this off as best as possible, not making them into Archons, just trying to hide his unit count a little bit, I think, and force his opponent to engage. But the supply right now is 160 to 110, and I mean, I think we can both agree that last battle should have decisively gone in his favor, but he only attacked with half of his army, and he didn't use a Guardian Shield. He just wasn't paying attention to that battle.
No, it was definitely rough, to say the least, and the medevac count is atrocious right now. I mean, by atrocious, I mean awesome. I think I used that word wrong. I meant scary. I meant scary as hell. We do have 11 medevacs are going to be marching. 11 medevacs are going to be marching on Zion's army. More EMPs are being thrown down, and this might be it for Zion's. Actually, I don't know. Those Archons are actually doing quite a bit of work to this army, but the reinforcements from Paradise are coming in. Is he going to be able to hold this? It's going to be close. It doesn't look like it. The medevac support is too strong. The Vikings are here. All the Marauders are here. They're going to be stimming. More DTs are being warped in. If he doesn't use, yep, and there's another scan. The DT's trying to clean up some of this army. Zion's really needs to get some more units out, but he is in terrible position right now. These units are streaming across the map.
Yeah, he has taken a force up at the top left. It is complete. Not really being mined from at all, though. And I mean, how are you going to clean these units up with no real spike damage? And there are so many medevacs on the field. Zion throws out the GG, and I have to say, when you've got a death ball of Colossus, Archon, Templar, like that was a beautiful army he had. And,
yeah.
Oh man, it was literally 3 seconds of just not paying enough attention, and it absolutely lost him the game. I mean, all 4 of his Colossus were shooting barracks, while all the rest of his units were getting wiped out by infantry.
Yeah. Along with a lot of zealots were attacking the barracks too. So good job by Paradise. I mean, he's played these games before. He knows he's putting his structures out there that help so much with surface area of zealots. It's so much harder for charge loss to get around barracks to fight against marauders and marines. So good job by Paradise. I really thought Zion's was in. He was doing everything right. He was stopping drops. He was doing everything so good. But Paradise showing that he actually knows what the hell is going on. Good play by him. And once he saw that tiny sliver, that tiny little bit of advantage, he just took a hold of it and ran with it. So it's going to put My Intent up 2-1 to Impulse Esports.
Yeah, and this is a best of 7, so there are 2 players left coming up for Impulse. And I think they have, for the most part, I think they have a good number of players on. I'll have to double check that. But there's definitely a couple options they have here. So we'll see who they decide to go with. Ender played incredibly well last night, almost all killing MYI, going 3-0 at the very beginning of the match. So, definitely a lot of options for Impulse here, and I'm not sure who the guy behind the curtains, Marine, is going to choose here. I'm sure he'll let us know as soon as he has made a decision, though.
Yep, definitely. All right, guys, well, right now we're going to hit our sponsors one more time, guys. Thank you so much to CSN for sponsoring our stream and putting up money for our MVP award this year, or this season, I should say. Vivid Arts, they do banners and Twitch backgrounds and overlays. If you guys need to hit them up, please hit them up at Insidia SC2 on Twitter. That's where you can find him and get information from Vivid Arts. G-Kick Network covers our ISTL wrap-ups. They do a lot of different news for the sites. They help do interviews and things like that. So thank you guys so much at G-Kick. Follow them at G-Kick Perry or at G-Kick Network. Maxed Out Studios makes some of our videos as well, commercials and things like that. So big thanks to them. And our newest addition to our sponsor list is Monster Cat, who is providing us with those dope beats tonight. So thank you guys very much.
Dope beats.
Damn dope beats. Legit.
I'm gonna cry if I walk outside tomorrow and I hear people saying that. Oh.
Did you hear "damn dope beats"? You're like, Joker. Joker's at it. He's at it again. All right, guys. Now we're just gonna have a little bit of time here while Impulse has their powwow, talks about it a bit, say who they're gonna send out against Paradise. Great game by him, by the way. Paradise. He tried everything he can and got shut down, and then he just had a great move at the end, man. Great move.
Yeah, and I mean, he was ready for everything too, right? But Paradise, I mean, it looked like Zion's had full control of the game with all of his map control and how he crushed that first army. But Paradise really played incredibly well, right? He had that missile turret up just in time. He walled off his front just in case an 8-gate was coming so that Zealots couldn't hit his...
that is true, yeah. And he also kept a lot of those... Oh, sorry. Cut you off mid-conversation.
Yeah, how could you? No,
sorry, I was going to... You just go.
Really well, man.
Just go. Yeah, no, he totally did.
And then,
like I was saying, I see what you did there. Lock it up. With those drops, though, he did keep so many of those units alive, not losing very many. He lost one dropship that was full. The other ones all escaped with units, so he brought those back into his main composition. Good job by Paradise. He's going to be a tough opponent to take down. I'm excited to see who they send out, man.
Yeah, we've been trading games. Wait. Have we been trading games? Who won the first game? How am I lost already? We've only done 3 games.
Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, so MYI won the first game.
Okay, so we've been trading games thus far, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, so won the first game against Moosey, that's right. Okay.
If we stay on track, then we're going to... Sorry, I read what Marine said and I completely lost track. We're on track to Game 7 because we're going to trade every game this series.
Buddha said that was such anger. Little kids at home are crying. Buddha is a scary guy. He did get a new clean haircut today, by the way, if anyone was wondering. Just the freshest haircut.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Go for it, Buddha.
Well, it looks like Ender is going to be the next player, but he needs a little bit of prep time here, so we are going to cut to another wonderful music break from our music sponsors, Monster Cat.
Monster Cat. It's okay. They're new. We just picked them up. Monster Cat. All right, guys, we're going to cut to a quick break. We will see you in just a minute.
See your face across the room from me. Heart's racing and it's getting pretty hard to breathe. The lights dance on both their faces. Your eyes, they sparkle bright. The beating of my heart draws closer when my brain is losing sight. I don't wanna fall in love tonight. I don't wanna fall in love tonight. You take my hand and lead me away to another place. Just you and me. I don't wanna fall in love tonight.
right, welcome back, guys. This is the ISTL. I'm Joker here with Buddha, and we got some more games for you. My Antenna is currently up 2-1, and Impulse is looking to send out Ender.
Indeed. So we are going to have the player that got a lot of kills yesterday against MYI come out. And he did beat Paradise yesterday, but it was a lot closer than I think I'm making it sound here. So we're going to have an excellent TVT coming up on Ohana, I think, which is a map we just played on a couple of maps ago. So it should be...
I don't think we're allowed to replay maps, so I think they're going to switch up the map here real quick. Hey, guys, a big shout-out to, in the chat, Conformist Police is one of the guys from Monster Cats that did hook us up the other day with the licensing to this music, so please give him a shout-out in the chat. Thank you very much. This music is dope.
It's the dopest beats, right?
They are. Damn dope beats is what I think is what I said last time.
Oh, Joker. Hey, I just want to make sure real quick, Maureen. Joker's webcam isn't frozen for you, right? Okay. All right. Just making sure, because it's frozen for me, and it is a hilarious frozen spot. So,
you have to send that to me. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Well, yeah, we are going to have an excellent game coming up in just a couple of minutes, guys. Zach is a teammate, or sorry, Ender's his current name. Yep. Ender's a teammate I've had for a really long time, and if you guys don't know who Ender is, he was actually a Warcraft 3 semi-pro for a while. He's been playing competitively for a really, really, really long time. A lot of people know him from Warcraft 3, and he changed his name in StarCraft 2 about halfway through. So Grandmaster player for a really long time, has multiple accounts in GM, which people I'm sure are mad at him because, you know, everyone's in the GM. And
they definitely are.
But yeah, no, absolutely a fantastic player, and we are going to have a treat watching him play in just a second here.
Yep, so if any time during the game Buddha calls him Pride, which I hate it. I hate it from the bottom of my heart when Buddha does it, because I'm like, who the hell is Pride? But Buddha's known him as Pride for quite a while, so that's where he gets that from. So, shame on Buddha. No.
Shame on me.
Ender is going to be sick. Playing against Paradise. TVT on Entombed Valley. We have switched up to Entombed Valley.
Well, this is probably going to be a really long game.
Yes, guys. Go grab some popcorn. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, it's going to be long. Possibly. I don't know. Ender has been known for his early aggression sometimes. And he's also been known. And this is the thing about Ender. I love it. I haven't seen Ender play like a super... I would say safe. He doesn't ever play super safe like in the beginning. It's either I'm 2 racks in, a lot of aggression, some crazy builds that are badass and they work well, or he's like, I'm taking three CCs.
Yeah, so
oh yeah, go ahead. I mean, he's like both opposite ends of the spectrum. I love his play style. He punishes people so well with it.
Yeah, he actually asked me to help him write a coaching profile for himself for a website. And I was thinking of how do I describe his play? Because it's not cheesy, right? Everything he does for a reason. It's because he scouted something, or there's a very common trend in the metagame or something. And I ended up going with he plays with a very technical style. It's very I'm gonna have one more unit than him that I can get to his base faster than he can get one out. So I'll have this tiny advantage. If he doesn't pay attention for this 1 second, then I crush him and I win the game. But,
that is good.
That's how Ender plays, man. And sometimes it's terrifying to see because you never know when he's going to come at you and attack. So we'll have to see what he decides throughout this game. But it is cross positions as we have MYI's Paradise spawning at the bottom right as the red Terran player.
And at the top left. We had just been talking him up. He did get 3 kills from this team yesterday before being taken out by Shinya. We have Ender for Impulse Esports now, taking nothing away from Paradise. Paradise is a tough opponent. Like we said, they played yesterday. Ender won in a very close CVT. Paradise is definitely a tough opponent, and Ender's going to have his hands full.
Yeah, just a tiny recap on yesterday since I watched the games today through the VODs. Ender did go Cloak Banshee on Daybreak, and Paradise went Banshee without Cloak. So Paradise didn't take all that much damage from it, and Ender did end up winning that game. And sort of a medium-ish, long-ish macro game, I'm pretty sure. But I'm sure we're going to see an excellent game here. Much larger, kind of weirder map here because it is a 4-player map with 2 spawning locations. You don't know where your opponent spawned right away. But yeah, no, I don't know what we're going to see, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Now, one of the last times I remember Ender playing a Terran, he abused these Hellion drops. He did it really fast. His build was so aggressive. He dropped 4 or 5 Marines up into the high ground and also elevated some Hellions up into the high ground of his opponent's base, got a lot of damage done. And it was basically turned into a bio versus mech battle. So we'll see if we're going to get any bio versus mech here. But these are these are cross positions, so mech is a little tougher once he starts moving across the map in this open spot in the middle. Mech does not want to move around there very often because they can get flanked by so many areas, but there is so many little corners around this, and that's kind of why, mech would be so viable, or a lot more viable if they're, horizontal positions and things like that. Cross positions a little tougher, but it's definitely been used plenty of times.
Yeah. So we did see the trademark "Have fun, good luck" from Ender, and sometimes I do it backwards like that too, just so I can feel really good about myself. But we do have Ender opening up with what looks to be a 1-Rax expand with 2 supply depots, and I think he did that to block his opponent from seeing whether or not he had taken gas. But he actually isn't moving down his ramp to put a command center down. So this
might be that same build.
What? The same build as what?
The Hellion drops with the Marines. Do you think it could be?
Well,
he did drop. It could be so many things at this point. It might, it could be a 1-on-1. It could be a lot of different things. But it's a good build. It hits strong. It takes away so many. He can get a lot of SCV kills. His micro. And one thing about Ender, guys, his trademark, his micro is impeccable. The guy can micro.
Player, man.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Warcraft 3 players are known for their micro. That game was very micro-intensive. Every unit was so important. Not that this game isn't, but that's where they get a lot of their mechanics from, was that game. And Ender's micro is stellar. So we'll see how he does it, but usually just with a small group, he can get the cost efficiency out of them like tenfold. So we do have a starport coming up. We are going to see Banshees coming out of Ender, I believe.
No,
and
I think you've got the colors back.
Holy cow! I totally have them backwards. My bad. I've been looking at Paradise.
That's why I was really confused when you're like, I think Ender might do a Hellion drop, and I was
no,
oh
my god!
The
whole chat's probably like,
I don't think so.
Is he wasted? That is not the case. I'm sorry. I thought Paradise was Ender. But we are going to see a Banshee coming out of Paradise. That is some fun stuff. I'm probably going to get trolled. It's all good.
All right. Well, we do have a cloak coming out first for Paradise, and then a Banshee is going to follow it up. And he actually is adding an eBay right away instead of going for a Hellion to scout or more Marines. He actually hasn't even added a reactor on his barracks, so really limiting himself by. Well, I'm not really sure what he did to limit himself here, but this is not a very normal build out of Paradise. Ender scanning and seeing, I think, both the gases here. Oh, and he sees the starport and cloak, so that was actually the best scan he could have gotten there.
Yep, absolutely. Instantly dropped an engineering bay, and Paradise did scan Ender and saw the engineering being dropped, so we'll see if he decides to get super aggressive with these Banshees. He's definitely going to go up and poke and prod, but Ender should be able to prepare for this quite well. What a great scan.
Oh, yeah, he's doing actually multiple things to prepare for this. He's adding those reactors so he can get more Marines out in time. He's got that eBay, like you said, and he's getting combat shield as opposed to stim first, and that's going to allow his Marines to take 3 hits instead of 2 from the Banshees, which is going to be obviously very, very important to help him hold this. 2 turrets go down immediately in the weirdest locations. What the?
And that's the thing about Ender, though. Sometimes he drops things in locations that we're like, what the hell is he doing? And then it ends up being like,
this is so smart. Look at this. These 3 turrets are going to cover every entrance.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. He looks like he's doing odd things, but it makes so much sense once we figure it out. He's so far ahead of us. in thinking. Here comes this Banshee. It's going to be able to stop this turret from being made for just a second. The Marines are going to be dancing around here. We do have a scan available. The scan drops down. The turret, ew, it's so close to getting up. Whoa! God, that Banshee is just denying that turret for so long. 5 kills on that Banshee.
Yeah,
the
actually
turret does get
phenomenal
up.
control out of Paradise, man. That was really impressive.
Yeah, he took like literally 1 hit from a Marine, and he is just nailing these Marines right now. We do not have another scan available yet for Ender, and this Banshee is doing a pretty good amount of work right now. Up to 7 kills at the moment, has paid for itself. The Marines are dancing around here. We still do not have a scan yet, and this Banshee is getting a few more Marines here. Quite a bit of damage out of this Banshee, but Ender did have the earlier CC up. He does have those extra, a little bit extra. Let me see. Yeah, actually no, he is down in Harvester count right now. So we'll just see if he decides to save up for some scans or drop those mules.
But keep in mind that you know that income did already hit for him, and of course he's going to take a hit by not having the workers out right now. But he's up by 6 supply. He has combat shield, and his stim is going to finish. You know, before combat shield finishes for his opponent. So he's actually, I think, maybe thinking about pushing across the map with just Marines and hitting a stim timing here, which is could potentially work very well. Although there are 2 tanks with siege mode, so maybe
yeah,
not.
2 tanks with siege mode might shut that down. Like we said before, Ender's micro is so good he can split those Marines up pretty well, taking the least amount of damage from these siege tanks. But it looks like right now Paradise is posturing up to take his 3rd. At least knocking down those rocks at the moment. Does he have another CC in production? No, not quite yet. And either does Ender. No, Ender doesn't either. So Ender is moving across the map with a handful, a lot of Marines. Just sending a few Marines out to take the middle watchtower. I really like that. He's bringing a few of them back. I don't know if after he takes this, if he's going to push forward or not. But good job out of Ender so far. Looks like, yep, he scared those guys away from the watchtower. But the tanks are posted up here at the top of Paradise's ramp. And that's the one thing about this tank style on this map is a few tanks up here in this middle area can really guard all 3 bases.
This is actually really weird out of Paradise, at least in my opinion. He's actually taking a 3rd and 4th gases off of only 1 eBay here and only 1 factory. So I know he has that starport with a reactor on it, but in all honesty, I think he's going to have too much gas as the game progresses here. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but just a really weird combination of taking a 3rd and 4th gas there. Maybe he forgot his 3rd and he's trying to catch back up in that gas count, but it just seems weird unless he adds another factory soon.
And it looks like Paradise is going to poke in once again with this Banshee. He's posturing it up right here at the north side of Ender's main. At the same time, Ender's going to be poking in up here at the 3rd spot of Paradise. Going to take a pop shot from one of those tanks and see that there is no 3rd. Ender might be happy with that and just back off now, or he might do a scan and see what he's up against up top. It looks like he is going to load up a medevac for a little bit of a drop. That Banshee took like no damage. That guy's Paradise is so good at controlling that Banshee because there was turrets in place for that. And he took no damage on that.
Yeah, man, actually phenomenal control. I mean, we see players in the GSL lose Banshees to stupid stuff all the time because they forget about it. And Paradise really has taken no damage on this. This Banshee has 10 kills and full health. And, you know, I think he went back and repaired it, but he took almost no damage previously on it either. So, really good control, and with 10 kills, he's been doing a good job.
Yep, we had a little bit of a drop right here in the natural of Paradise. Ender tried to drop a few Marines, lost 2 of them, picked the rest of them up. No real damage done, and a turret is now being placed down there by Paradise. Now Paradise has his own medevac going to be coming towards the west side of the map, going to be going towards Ender's natural here. Now Ender doesn't have a whole lot back here to defend. He's rallying all his units across the map. So we might get a little bit of extra economy damage right here from Paradise. At the same time, Ender's posturing up here by the 3rd, making sure that Paradise cannot take that 3rd. That drop is now down. He is carpet dropping these Marines into the natural. Now Ender is going to be able to fight it off with a few Marines and his SCVs and clean that up. So good job by Ender being able to clean that up without taking too many losses. Now Ender is just sitting here really denying this 3rd kind of from Paradise.
Yeah, one thing Ender does do very well that I noticed he started doing a little more recently than when he was on well, sorry, we have a big battle kind of at the second and 3rd.
And Ender actually stimmed all his Marines a little early there. Just 2 Marines of Paradise popped out. Ender must have been looking at something else, saw the blip, and just quickly stimmed his Marines. So now all of his Marines are weak. Siege tanks are now in a pretty good position to defend all 3 of these bases. So Paradise is going to be able to land his 3rd safely, and Ender's going to have to back up for the time being.
Yeah, he actually doesn't have stim mode, which is pretty common for a Terran that came from Team Air previously. It's like this thing that we had this huge problem with. Everyone would just forget stim. They'd like push across the map with this huge timing and like be like, oh, well that's awkward. But one thing he does do is he actually sets most of his rallies to the middle of his base most of the time, and then sends waves across so that he does have a little bit of drop defense. He had those 6 Marines there, just enough to clean that drop up with stim, and now 2-2 has started for him. No 2-2 for Paradise yet. I don't know if we had an armory. Did you see one go down? Oh, we do.
Yes, Paradise does have an armory. He has not yet started 2-2.
He hasn't spent his +1 armor.
No, he hasn't spent his +1 armor, so he's a little bit behind in the upgrades, whereas he still has 0-0 on tanks, too, so Ender's going to have a little advantage here for a while with those upgraded advantages, and that could be a huge tipping point in this game. But Paradise is fully mining out of that 3rd right now. Ender's 3rd is just now complete. He's probably going to be transferring SCVs over there shortly, but Ender's macroing very well at the moment. Actually, both of these guys are macroing very well at the moment. There's really no gaps in these defenses at the moment. I'm excited to see what they transition into from here and who's going to make the first attack, really.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be Ender because he is playing a very biocentric style as opposed to his opponent who's playing very siege tank heavy. But
real quick, yep, small drop is going to be able to pick up a couple of these mules. Really good focus fire from Paradise, picking up a lot of those mules and actually killing quite a bit of SCVs. That was the best trade he could have done, and Ender stimming his whole army for that. Those medevacs are going to have their work cut out for him for a little bit here. But yeah, focus firing. I mean, that's the best decision out of him right there, was focus firing those mules first and then start hitting off those SCVs instead of, just shooting at these Marines and maybe killing 1 or 2. So good job by Paradise. And it looks like now Paradise is moving across the map. The tanks are in the middle. He has quite a big tank count, 12 to only the 4 tanks of Ender. Ender has a huge Marine advantage, though, at 92 Marines to the 69 Marines of Paradise. But, with these siege tanks sieged, it's going to be really tough for Ender to try to fight into this. He really has to catch them unsieged.
Oh,
there is the unsieged. Ender is moving in. He's going to get real close to these tanks. He's spreading out his units brilliantly. Is Ender going to be able to take this out? The spread is so good. The siege tanks behind, and Ender is barreling through this army. He picks it all up. He is crushing everything that Paradise just brought out. Wow, what a great spread. A great play by Ender. He saw the timing. He nailed it perfectly.
Dat concave. What the hell just happened?
One tank doing some pop shots, but that tank count from Paradise has been completely diminished. He has 4 tanks still. He's still macroing really well right now, but he had such a big tank lead. Now sitting on even tanks with Ender. Ender posturing up here at the 4th position of Paradise, and really, really good play by Ender. That's exactly the engagement he needed.
One thing I did want to point out about Paradise moving out there is it was actually a really good time to move out. His army pulled the entire army of Ender back, and then he moved out on the map. It was just like TVZ. You use your drops to force your opponent out of position, and then move your army up. And then he moved back, and then he moved forwards again. And
here comes another battle. I don't know about this position for Ender. He is spreading his Marines out, and the tanks are getting some shots up, but Ender, more reinforcements are coming from the back. Is he going to be able to clean this up? It looks like the superior upgrades for those Marines did quite a bit of damage right there, and now he's loading up some of his medevacs, but that position was a little more shaky for Ender to take that fight on.
Yeah, definitely. Another drop coming in towards the 4th here of Ender, and it's going to force that command center to stop building at least, or maybe not get it canceled as more Marines stim over for Ender here. Really low medevac count again for Ender. Like we were pointing out before, he's got the gas for it, but he doesn't. I think he just thinks his Marines are just going to die too quickly or something. He's not making more. He's only got the 6 out on the field.
Oh, Paradise making a really good play. He's moving across the middle of the map, trying to take that Zelnaga. No one actually controls the Zelnaga right now. Now Paradise does, but Ender is coming in with a really good flank, and he is going to be able to clean up some of these tanks as well. Does he get those 2? Yes, he picks up those 2 tanks. So this is just back and forth. Paradise does have the tank lead by just 2 tanks. Ender has a little bit of Marine lead, but you know what the big story is going to be, Buddha? Ender is very close here to finishing up 3-3, whereas Paradise stopped his upgrades, and he is sitting at 1 armor and 2 attack. And Paradise is moving forward again, forcing a stim out of Ender, slow walking these tanks across the battlefield. But yes, I think these upgrades are going to come in to be quite a big factor here really soon.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is going to be a huge deal, the upgrades. But on the other side, we have Paradise making 3 tanks at a time as opposed to Ender's 2. So definitely something we're going to have to watch out for is the positioning here, because all of these bases for Paradise right now are very, very clumped together, and these siege tanks are going to be able to cover each other while they defend. So with all the missile turrets Paradise has put down this game, I don't think drops are going to be a very viable option in Ender's case. But I don't know. I feel like these upgrades, you might be right, might be the tail here, since 3-3 is going to hit as 3-2 starts for Paradise.
Yeah, but look at, like you said before, that is so many tanks out here for Paradise, and he's getting a really good tank line here. I mean, it is going to be pretty tough for Ender to try to combat that, but look at Ender's transition right now. He knows that this is going to be tougher. He is starting... Oh, wait, no, that's vehicle weapons. I thought that was ship weapons. You know, he is still pushing. I'm like, holy hell. Oh, looks like Ender's taking engagement, trying to flank this army. I don't know about this engagement. Looks like Paradise is going to be able to... Oh, I don't know. The battle's really close. Ender, I think, got the little bit worst end of the deal on that battle. There's so many tanks there from Paradise. Ender's going to have to go home. Is Paradise going to stim and chase him down? No, he is not. He is going to let him escape freely. But that tank line from Paradise is looking super strong right now. Now Paradise, I think he sees a little bit of window here. He's moving out his army. He's clumping them up right now. He has so many tanks, Buddha. Ender needs to fall back to something here. I don't know if he has the production to be able to keep up. It is 186 food to the 150 of Ender's. Ender's still in the middle of the map here.
Yeah, so one thing to note about this is yeah, Paradise is going to have to rely a lot on drops, because he actually doesn't have the Marine count to assault a tank position. Like, it's just 2 completely different styles here, right? Paradise is making just enough Marines so that he has a buffer and he can't get dropped on his tanks. And Ender is playing the exact opposite. He's playing, I'm going to make so many Marines that if you don't have enough Marines, I'm going to completely run over your position and just come barrel through you. Yeah,
really good point. Both these guys are going to be maxed out here very shortly. Ender does have more medevacs now. He is sitting on 10 medevacs to only the 7 of Paradise. And Ender is moving forward again. Now, the last couple of engagements from Ender have been a little bit shaky. He's trying to flank this army the best way he can. And now he's moving kind of by the barracks of Paradise. So we'll see what he decides to do here. And it looks like a big stim from Paradise. Going to be moving all his Marines. Good siege by Ender and a very good spread of his units. He needs to keep pulling back. Now they're just going to dance back and forth right now. But the thing is, Ender is now hitting the production facilities of Paradise, forcing Paradise to pick him up and actually lose a few. And Ender is also hitting a couple turrets here up on the high ground by the natural, forcing another big stim out of Paradise. Paradise just stimmed his army again and not to... Oh, here's another big stim again, and Ender is sieging up. Is he going to be able to take this out? Paradise has a really good concave right there, but Ender, with the upgraded Marines, the superiority of those Marines and his splits are so good right now, and it looks like it's just going to be tanks left over at the moment.
Yeah, everyone's just throwing both their units at each other at the moment, and this looks a little bit like GSL Season 1, the open season. You know, now both players just kind of sitting here with only siege tanks. There are no Marines on the field for Ender at the front, and no Marines really at the front for Paradise. This next wave just now coming out. Ender walking across the map with his reinforcements, has a long ways to go, but the supply lead has actually changed as all the tanks are getting cleaned up by... Oh, no!
Yep, all Ender's tanks did just get cleaned up right there. He's coming in with a few more. He's got 2 on the battlefield, and they're going to be pushing into this position as well. But look at the siege tank count from Paradise. Paradise has 11 siege tanks to just the 5 of Ender. Ender going for this nice flank once again, but I don't know, man. I think Paradise is starting to pull away. We'll see. Ender's going to go all the way around. Looks like that's going to be his decision to go back home, or that's going to be his path. So, I mean... The weird thing is Ender has quite a big supply advantage. I'm trying to figure out where his army is right now that has the supply. Oh my god, he might have a chance to get a pretty good flank right here in the middle of the map. These siege tanks are unsieged. Here comes the stim from Ender. He's coming from all different sides, but the siege tanks are raining down. Ender doing pretty good micro. Is he going to be able to clean this up? Those Marines are split. Oh, so well. He cleans up every single tank in that army. One tank. Nope, he goes back to try to kill it with that last Marine, but almost every tank in that army was killed. Ender is now sitting with 1 siege tank advantage here, and this game is so back and forth, guys. This is just crazy.
This is crazy. I feel like Paradise keeps having great positions, but not scanning ahead or sending a Marine ahead, and it just gets caught unsieged every time. His tank count is enough to decimate the entire army of Ender every time, but Ender with a great concave, knowing where his opponent is, just keeps catching Paradise off guard. But Paradise doing a great job macroing, and supplies are still a little bit in his favor here.
Oh, another big stem. No siege tanks. Oh, and Ender might decide to pull back here. No, the siege tanks are actually going to rain fire, and Ender takes a huge blow right there, and that was a very decisive battle. Ender now sieging up some of his tanks in the middle of the map. More Marines getting stemmed forward, and this is so back and forth, but like you said, macro from Paradise. These tanks are pumping out now. 9 tanks to only the 4 of Ender. Now Paradise taking a forward position here. How is Ender going to combat this right now? His tanks are actually shooting at the rocks. Wow, he's getting shot at from behind. He just stopped that, but now he's trying to spread out his Marines. This is so crucial of a spot right now. Paradise has quite a good supply lead right now. Ender's in a little bit of trouble. And here comes a big stim from Paradise. I don't know about that decision right now. And Ender moving forward and pulling back once again. These guys have such great control, great macro, and they're so close on supply, man. It is. I just don't know. I just do not know. It's insane.
Another big story in that one battle was Ender left all of his medevacs under the Marines of his opponent, or over, I guess, the Marines of his opponent, and lost all of them. So now he's only got 2 on the field, and all of his Marines are pretty hurt here. It looks like he might be going for a little bit of a trade, knowing that he really can't fight this army all that efficiently, especially if he moves Marines backwards. So both players taking out each other's forts at the moment. This is going to get a little bit awkward, but Paradise with a 50 supply lead might be able to trap Ender's army here.
Yeah, this is going to get really dicey, and it looks like Paradise is sending all his tanks back to fight this army, but Ender is taking out quite a bit of production here. The siege tanks are just about to siege up, and we'll probably see a big stim out of Paradise. Oh, and there are the siege tanks, and the Marines are sitting inside that siege tank wall with a lot of SCVs not mining right now. So like you said, both of these guys, Ender's actually going to lose his CC at the top side of the map to this handful of Marines here. And Paradise is maxed out at a 200 army, where Ender is sitting at 150. It is looking a little bit grim, and Paradise might decide to come try to pressure Ender. Ender's moving back to the middle of the map, but like we've seen before, we have seen Ender come back from this position. But the big story, all those Marines are weak, Buddha.
Oh.
All those Marines are weak, and like you said, there is not very much medevac support right there. They're going to stay weak for the duration, probably, of this battle. There are so many tanks. The big stim from Paradise. This might be the deciding battle. Really good splits by both teams right there. The tanks are raining down. Paradise is going maybe a little bit overextending. Might lose all his Marines right there, but look at the tank count still from Paradise. It is going to be so hard for Ender to climb back into this right now. But their supplies are still really close.
Wow, I can't believe Ender actually held that, because Paradise had an army supply lead and sent about 30 SCVs with that attack. So now the SCV count much more even, 29 to 41, still in Paradise's favor. But that was an amazing hold in the middle of the map by Ender. I thought he was absolutely going to get crushed there.
Yeah, and Ender is actually taking a lot of shots from siege tanks, losing almost all of those Marines he had in the middle. Paradise sees that advantage. He's going to come in there, take up those last 2 tanks, and this might be it. A big move, big unsiege from Paradise. He's just going to march his army right at Ender's base. I don't think Ender's going to be able to hold this one, Buddha. It is going to be so hard. Paradise posturing up in the middle of the map, 140 food to those 80 of Ender. This is looking really scary for Ender. Paradise playing so well.
Yeah, no, he really is. His positioning with these tanks has been really impressive, and that's something we see on this map a lot. It is a huge map, but the center of the map is not as big as it looks, and the location in front of your 3 bases is not as big as it looks. So, these siege tanks doing a great job controlling all of the space, and there's really not a lot Ender can do. He's down in siege tank count, and his opponent has really stopped making mistakes with his siege uptime.
Yep, and this might be the final engagement here. Ender's trying to split his armies. He splits his Marines so well, but look at that siege tank line. That siege tank line just absolutely crushes all the remaining forces from Ender, and now Paradise is pushing forward into the last forces. GG out of Ender. What a great TVT, despite it was 34 minutes long. You called it, Buddha. I think you said 40 minutes. You might have, but great game. Holy cow. Paradise taking a little bit of revenge off Ender. Ender took him out the last time. Paradise this time. That guy is so tough. That was a crazy TVT, man.
It really was. And, I have to say, I thought Paradise had a really early lead because he was getting that siege tank production up so well. He had the SCV lead pretty early, even though he had the later second command center. Did just enough damage with that Banshee. And then I thought he lost it with the upgrades, losing that giant army of tanks in the middle. But he just kept cranking those tanks out. And if you saw at the end of the game, they both had like 5,000 gas or something. So
they had so much gas.
Really utilizing that gas through the mid game. And, Ender really likes that bio style. And that's why he wanted to play on Ohana, I think, because you can really get a lot more drops off on Ohana, in my opinion, even though it's a much more narrow map. Those 3 bases on Entombed, it's like 4 turrets and you're completely encased in turrets. On Ohana, it's a little bit more. So.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. And yeah, this has kind of been the story of these My Intent guys. They've in a couple of the games today, they've been down a little bit, and then they are doing everything right, and they're getting the advantage back, and they're sealing the deal. So these guys are really good late game. They are great decision making. They're playing strong. They're playing till the final GG. Man, these guys are good.
All right, well, the score is currently 3-1 in MYI's favor over Impulse, and we are going to have to see who Impulse decides to send out as their 4th and final player. He's going to have to take out 3 of MYI's players. That's including Paradise, of course, if he wants to bring this back. So who do you think it's going to be?
Looking at the roster right now, seeing who's on, I would say Stoic Regret if he's here to play. He is one of the best Zergs I've seen play. Honestly, when we used to do Clan Wars, in the middle, in between ISTL seasons, he played so strong. I honestly didn't see him lose a game for like a couple weeks. He's really strong Grandmaster Zerg. And he also helped Impulse with the Game 7 win in their very first week. With just a crazy build, couple builds. He's so good. So
I'd say dropped in a ZVP, right? Just like a ton of drops over force and stuff. Yeah.
He actually did a fake drop. It was rad because the Protoss army was about to march on him, and he had nothing really. He had not enough at least. So he did a fake drop. He loaded up, or he had all his overlords that clumped in there, moving across the map. Made sure he went through the vision of the Protoss player. The Protoss was like, I got to go back. So he walked back, just to try to fight off these overlords. There was nothing in the overlords. Gave Stoic Regret just enough time to macro up his army, and he came away with the win. It was a brilliant play.
Yeah, man. He's pretty crazy good. He's just currently in a game right now, so we'll see who we decide to pick up here.
Yep.
In the meantime, Joker.
What's up?
I lost that list of crazy questions I had that I was going to ask you throughout the cast.
Oh, God.
I got a new hard drive.
Thank God you lost that. Booty used to troll me all the time on our cast, come up with the dumbest questions, and everyone's like,
dumbest questions?
Doing
They were the most awesome questions.
They were good.
All right.
They were good.
You don't even know. Well, thanks for tuning in, you guys. We really appreciate it. We're going to do one more, or I'm going to do one more shout out to our sponsors, because Joker has done the first 2, and I feel, really unloving right now.
Yeah, you're left out. Absolutely, you're left out.
I know. So I'm a terrible person, but
so go ahead.
First, guys, please make sure you go hit up our thread on Team Liquid. We always have a Reddit thread for all the games we cast here. Please upvote them if you see them under r/StarCraft/new. r/StarCraft. Yeah. And make sure you hit up our thread on Team Liquid. We got a full schedule there. We've got all the teams listed. We put out content from a lot of the players and managers and stuff like that. You can watch interviews and stuff. But definitely check out Impulse Esports. They make this entire thing happen. ImpulseEsports.com. Cyber Sports Network, CSN. We are joining another game here, but we'll take a second. It's all right. No problem. Vivid Arts. You can find Vivid Arts at Insidia SC2 on Twitter. Please hit him up. If you're a Masters or GM player, he does graphics for free. He puts a little tag on there just so they know who made it and stuff. But he does work for very, very cheap. Also, he does banners, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter backgrounds, all sorts of stuff. G-Kick Network, they do all of our awesome recaps. If you haven't seen one, go check them out. They're really well produced, really short. You get to see exactly what happened during the Clan War if you happen to miss it. And of course, Maxed Out Studios does a lot of our graphics work here. You can find them